In the previous episode, this time we're going to the park and the boardwalk.
Damn, look at this view.
In the state of Colorado.
So here we are with episode 3, which is going to be the finale of our trip series. Now, just to preface, the trip so far has been nothing but amazing. But in this last portion of the trip, things do take quite an unfortunate turn. But before we get into that, make sure to drop a like and a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Folks, so we are currently on the road going upstate to the third Airbnb location. It's going to be located in South Courtright. So it's about a 4 to 5 hour drive from the Pennsylvania location. As you can see, it's like about 1 o'clock right now. The ETA roughly around 2 hours 45 minutes, so about 3:40. So at this point, we left Pennsylvania altogether and drove up north to upstate New York. It took about 5 to 6 hours to get to South Courtright, and we arrived at our last Airbnb. It was a bit of a rundown location with a bit of an artistic twist, if you will. And yet again, if you guys want to see a full in-depth tour of this Airbnb, there will be a link in the description below. Alrighty folks, so we are finally settled into the last and third location, which is this Airbnb in the middle of the woods. And I gotta say, it's a little bit more on the rustic side. It's not very modern or fancy, so to speak, but it is a pretty cool space. It's actually an artist studio that was transformed into an Airbnb. So there's some remnants of that, some sort of patina, some older sort of retro and vintage vibes in here. And it is another loft space, so we do have this big open area here with the large windows. And then back in here, we have the bedroom. Pretty classy, nothing too crazy. I do like this light up here, kind of Asian-esque, if you will. Now if you make your way upstairs, you have another bed up here, which is nice. And if we make our way outside, this is what it looks like. It's just a blacked out squared house. There is actually a main unit up the hill right over here. In the background, if you look carefully, that's also another Airbnb. So there's 2 units within a single space. But I don't think there's anyone actually renting that spot because the parking here is empty. And this is for the Earth House, which is the one up there. And this location is actually in upstate New York. So we left Pennsylvania altogether, and tomorrow's gonna be the last day. So we're gonna be heading back to the city. And the last few days here, it's gonna start raining. So right now it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, but once it hits like 2 o'clock, it's gonna be storming crazy. We probably will be heading out in just a little bit though, just to check out the local area, probably check out a winery, maybe go shopping. I don't know, it's Father's Day weekend coming up soon. The Macan desperately needs a wash. It's just super dirty and crusty as heck right now. It doesn't look too bad on camera, but if you look at the windshield, there's like bugs and guts and bird poop literally all over it. Look down here, a lot of crust and whatnot, bugs, etc, etc. Yeah, let's head back to the unit. I do have to shoot some cinematics and a tour of this for the main channel, and then we'll carry on with our day. Now this is where things get quite strange. Something about this place just felt really off. When we first arrived at the property, things just kind of felt a little bit not up to our expectations. Mind you, this was actually the most expensive one out of the bunch. It was close to around $350 a night, and let alone things just felt a little bit musty, kind of smelled it moldy in there. Now at first I didn't think too much about it. I thought maybe it'll kind of take a little bit of time to get used to it, to kind of settle in, but things just honestly got a lot worse. As the sun was setting down and it was time to rest, we just had non-stop nightmares. It's kind of hard to describe exactly what I was feeling, but it just felt really heavy on my chest. And mind you, I wasn't traveling alone, and everyone that was involved was also feeling this sort of weight. And so for the nighttime, we just couldn't sleep at all. And so I decided to just put on a movie using one of the sponsorship projectors. It did kind of ease the vibe a little bit, but you know, there was still a little bit of that eerie feel, but it just felt like somebody was watching us. And I'm getting goosebumps just explaining that to you guys. But we were still able to kind of push through the night, and when the morning came, we decided to head out to the local town to explore the area and to get a little bit of fresh air. Alrighty, so we are just checking out the town here, looking at some antique stores. This place has a lot of cool stuff. It's about to rain in about an hour, so we're trying to be outside as much as we can before the weather goes bad. But yeah, check this barn out. They got like a whole bunch of stuff back here. All this old tools, pins. Wow, vintage pins, yo. Oh, damn. That's sick. Like the old radios and stuff. $500 this one. This thing is a little unstable. Oh my, yo. This is kind of creepy up here. I don't know. How much are these? These are the same chairs in the Airbnb, yo. They probably bought it from here. So these are the last clips of the trip. I did not shoot anything else. I did not grab my camera and vlog anymore. What basically happened after the last few clips is that we went back to the Airbnb, and that sort of sensation of this unsafe, uneasy anxiety just pretty much heightened all the way to the roof. Now, I don't know if you guys are religious or spiritual or anything like that, but it kind of felt like a spiritual warfare. I felt this sort of tension, like this tugging in my heart, and like I felt this pressure in my head just squeezing me in. And it could very much just be all in my head. It could just be an overthinking thing, like a paranoia thing. So long story short, basically we just packed our bags right there and then and just left. We went all the way back down to New York City. It was another 6 to 7 hour drive. And I did actually book that Airbnb for the rest of the weekend, but because I left early, I couldn't get a refund, especially because it was a non-refundable booking. On top of that, the service from the host was not very good either. They were not responsive whatsoever. If we were to message the host, it took them about a day just to get back to us. So it was just a very unprofessional, very bad experience for that last location that it wasn't even worth staying there. But overall, to conclude this entire trip, I gotta say it was still pretty good, around an 8 out of 10. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.